Matt Scher here with you.
In the top of the first, leading off for the South Lyon East High School Cougars. Center fielder number 4, Jack Mallow.
So Paulo will stand in to lead it off. Here's the starting line for the Cougars against intermits and the Chelsea Bulldogs. Bulldogs checking in at 28-9 on the season. First pitch is fouled back to the screen, 0-1. So it's Paulo. He's in center field, followed by the Cougars' leading hitter in Hayden Harrigan. He's behind the dish, and you have Anthony Aloisi on the Italian Stallion out at first base. Bobby Porter, the fourth, at shortstop. He's in the cleanup spot. Then you have Donnie Mifsud at second base. In the fifth slot as that one misses for a ball, moving the count at 1-1 on a cloudless day here out at Kurtansky Field in Carleton, Michigan. With the Airport Jets. That one's up and in. Ducking out of the way was Paulo, and it's 2-1. So Swarzinski in the sixth hole. He's at third base. Max Denny, he'll be towing the rubber. Last time he did so through a no-hitter against Romulus High School. He's in the 7 hole. And at the 8 hole, it's Ryan Scamars in left field as that one misses. He'll run the count out of 3-1 on the leadoff hitter. Paulo is Onstead. So Ryan Scamars in the 8 hole. He's in left field. And Jake Heffernan rounding things out. He's in right field. And that one's inside, and a leadoff walk issued to Paulo. And that'll bring up Hayden Harrigan, who for the first time this season will be donning the stirrups of old-time baseball as he'll stand in from the left side.
Number 11, Hayden Harrigan.
Harrigan standing in here, checking in at 379 on the season. The junior catcher splits his time behind the dish and in the shortstop position as there's a pickup attempt over to first base, but Paulo getting back in easily. Now, they call the leadoff walk. It's known by many in the baseball lore as the kiss of death. And we'll see if it comes back to haunt Onstead early here. That one's on the outer half of the plate, and the first pitch strike to Hayden Harrigan. Paulo Harrigan out of Louisiana, due up here to start off things for the Cougars. Looking to try to manufacture a run here. Pickup attempt over to first base, sliding back in safely is Paulo. Cougars check in at 12-19. They do play in the highly competitive Kensington Lakes Activities Association, featuring the likes in their own division of Northville and Novi. And this one's hit in the hole to short, over to second for one. And it's just going to be a fielder's choice of the 6-4 variety. And there's one down, and Harrigan will take Paulo's spot at first base for Anthony Aloisi. Aloisi will stand in here. Was the winning pitcher in the 11-2 win over Canton Preparatory in the district championship.
Anthony Aloisi.
Aloisi standing in here trying to get something going with one out here. Someone's on the outer half of the plate for a strike, 0-1. Matt Scher here with you of the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars playing a 10 a.m. game. This is their third appearance in the regionals in school history, dating back to when they opened in the fall of 2007. Pickup attempt over to first base, nothing doing as Harrigan slides back in safely. Not a cloud in the vicinity of the ballpark, and a beautiful day for baseball. Things are going to heat up later, and it's going to be a hot weekend indeed as this one's fouled down the right side off of the facing of the Chelsea Bulldog dugout, and the count goes to 0-2. Onstead trying to pitch around that leadoff walk. Paulo was erased off of first base on the fielder's choice, and runner at first now in Hayden Harrigan. If we were to get there, Bobby Porter the fourth on deck. Aloisi, a bit of a staggered stance, not by much on the right side. Onstead comes set, checks his peripherals. And he will go over to first base with the pickoff attempt. But again, Harrigan slides back in safely ahead of the throw. Onstead comes set, the 0-2. Fastball in the attic, misses, and a good take there by Aloisi, not trying to climb the ladder. So that one was around the eye level. 1-2 the count on a sophomore. Cougars now in their second season under the tutelage of Ryan Hilton as another pickup attempt, sliding back in safely as Harrigan. That's about 4 times he's thrown over the first base. Harrigan is the stolen bases leader for the Cougars. As he edges his lead off of first base. Again, another pickoff attempt, and again, Harrigan ahead of the throw, slides in safely. Try to keep a close eye at him on first base. Onstead gets the sign from Cal Barrett behind the plate. He comes set, the offering on the way as one's hit to second. Fielding it is McDaniels over to Vasquez, a throw to the third, and a double play as Harrigan was trying to stretch it from first to third. And as you can hear, the Chelsea Bulldog faithful in full attendance today with an applause on the double play.
Chelsea now coming to bat.
So for the inning, no runs, no hits. In essence, only 3 men come to the plate. A 1-2-3 inning, not conventional. Ronstadt will head to the home half of the first inning here on the Cougars Sports Network. Your home for South Line East Baseball in the MHSAA Regional Semifinal. Back here in the home half of the first inning, the Chelsea Bulldogs able to pitch around that leadoff walk. The kiss of death does not come away.
Leading off for Chelsea, center fielder number 12, Hunter
Denny towing the rubber. He's got a 3.15 ERA on the season. Picked up his first win in a no-hitter over Romulus. Nice was pitched good, just hasn't gotten the runs for this year. And it's Hunter Neff to lead it off for the Bulldogs as that one's low and outside. For a ball, 1-0 to start off Hunter Neff, who's playing in center field. Then it's Thomas Steele the third, and the 2 holies in left field. Cal Barrett behind the dish. Alexander Vasquez at first base. This is a single in the left field, and Neff gets things going with a leadoff knock in the left against Denny.
Now batting left fielder number 11, Thomas Steele.
So Thomas Steele will dig in here with a leadoff base runner on the 1-0 fastball that got too much of the plate and was delivered into left field by Neff. Pitch on the way from Denny, a swing and a foul tip into the glove for strike one. Steele digs in from the right side. Average lead off of first base by Hunter Neff. And Denny, the left-hander, gives a look over to Neff, and sliding in ahead of the throw is Neff. Wind blowing from left field to right field. Just more of an easy breeze as this one's flared down the right field line, and that one will find the seats on a play. Quickly 0-2 on Thomas Steele III. Chelsea Bulldogs were able to take down the Milan Big Reds 7-0 for their district championship. That one hits. Steele with a pitch, and he will head over to first base. Back-to-back base runners here, and Denny pitching into a little bit of trouble here. So that will bring up the three-hitter, Cal Barrett. He's doing the catching today for the Bulldogs. Denny having to work out a high
catcher, number 7, Cal Barrett.
High leverage situation for Denny. Early here as he's going to try to keep the Bulldogs off the board. It won't be easy, though, here with the middle of the lineup in Cal Barrett. Now that staggered stance from the right side. Denny peering over to second. The offering on the way. Just off of the outside corner, missing with it. 1-0. Now, Denny, in that no-hitter, did have a couple of three-ball counts. Ended up walking the only man to reach base. It was erased as Denny faced a minimum on a double play. He 1-0. Fastball is fouled back into the screen and runs the count at 1-1. Cougars electing to go with the pinstripe pants and the alternate black jerseys, known as the Tournament Black. They've worn it for, I believe, the past 4 years now in the tournament. Then he comes in, he checks the runner on second, the 1-1. This one is grounded back up the middle. Flip to second for 1. Over to first, and safe as he beats it out, but that'll go as a fielder's choice. That'll put runners on the corners now with 1 down, and in need of a big ground ball here with Alexander Vasquez at the dish.
Now batting first baseman, number 2, Alex Vasquez.
1 down in the inning, and double play is what the Cougars will need to try to get out of this. Runners on the corners. On third, it is Neff. On first, it's Cal Barrett, and Vasquez at the dish. So there's a pickup attempt over to first base. Sliding back in safely ahead of the throw is Barrett. Both of these teams electing to have their pitchers hit. It'll be a straight 9. Bit of National League baseballs. That's a 1-hopper to second. Flip to second over for 1. Over to first. And he's safe. And just ahead of the throw when a run scores. On the fielder's choice. And it's 1-0 Chelsea with 2 down. And 1 man on base and first.
Now batting pitcher, number 19, Drew Anstead.
Andrew Anstead digging at the plate. The pitcher in this contest was able to work out a 1-out walk, and Denny not so lucky giving up the leadoff single. That man came around to score 1-0 Bulldogs lead, but it is early as that's off of the outside corner for a ball, 1-0. Fifth man to come up to the plate here. And he just trying to limit the damage, just a 1 run. This one's fouled back into the screen, and it's 1-1. Wind starting to pick up a bit, left field to right field, same pattern it's been all morning. And we're happy you've joined us, whether you're watching and you're listening in your living room, in the car, wherever you are, as this one is hit in the air to right field. Giving chase is Heffernan. This one is up against the wall. Cruising into second base with A 2-out double is Onstead. He's not able to get the RBI. He's moving first to third. Was Vasquez as he tried to help out his own cause there. And with 2 outs, trying to push across another as he'll give it off to Grant Barrett to try to finish off with a couple of RBIs. A double into right field as Heffernan had to give chase, but that one was up against the wall.
Up for the Bulldogs. Third baseman, number 8, Grant Barrett.
Runners on second and third. Cougars trying to keep the game a 1-0 and send it to the second. All right, Barrett, the 6th inner. First pitch on the way from Denny. Breaking ball stays outside, 1-0. Hunter Lay, if we were to get there, the shortstop on deck. Barrett at third base in this contest. Home after the first inning, 1 run on 2 hits already in this inning as that one is grounded in the hole to short. Porter across the diamond, and he got him at first base, and with that, the sign is retired. But not before. 1 run comes across for Chelsea on 2 hits and 2 men left on base. No Cougar errors, however. At the end of 1, the score 1-0. Bulldogs will send it to the top half of the second. When we return on the Cougar Sports Network, your home for South Line East Baseball and the NHSAA Regional Semifinal. Top of the second inning, and if you're just joining us, 1-0 Chelsea leads in. 1 run on 2 hits. They left 2 men on base, and the Cougars in the top of the first inning ended up with a leadoff walk to Pablo.
Yeah, the top of the second, leading off.
Rounding into the fielder's choice was Harrigan, and Louisiana rounding out into a 4-3-5 double play. Harrigan tried to stretch it from first to third. On that ground out as that one's flipped back out of play. 0-1 on Bobby Porter. One on the senior is into the 1-up, the 0-1 on the way from Onstead. Fastball elevated and misses with it. 1-1. Chelsea checking in at 28-9 on the season. Outscored their opponents by nearly 100. Cougars at 12-19 on the season as that one misses. 2-1 on Bobby Porter. 2-1 is high and tight as Porter had to adjust the hands out of the way of that one, and it moves the count out of 3-1. One thing we've noticed so far about Onsen, he has worked himself into high pitch counts early. That one's upstairs and back-to-back innings. A leadoff walk, and he's escaped one of the leadoff walks so far. He has another one here. And we'll see if he can escape the kiss of death twice in this contest. It's now the coaching staff of Chelsea out to talk. Pitching coach discussing things over with Onstead, and he'll retreat back to the first base dugout in which the Bulldogs are placed. Today, a big day for South Line East. It's always been regionals as Donnie Mitson checks in, and he'll be taking his talents to Glen Oaks Community College in the fall to play baseball. So pick up attempt over to first base, sliding back in safely is Porter. But it is graduation day for the Cougars, as it's always been on the regional in baseball and softball, and the 2014 team, last time this team was in this position. The players after the contest would throw on their graduation gear over their baseball uniforms and head over. A nice, I guess, so-called tradition in South Lyon East history as that's a big-up attempt over to first base. Nothing doing as Porter gets back in. That one's fouled back off of the catcher, Cal Barrett, and back to the screen, 1-1. Nifson standing in from the left side at a huge RBI triple. And trying to make a bid for all district, ended up falling short as that one's on the outer half, and it's 1-2 on Johnny Nifson. Armstead comes in, checks the runner peripherals. Pitch on the way, fastball is high and outside. That runs the count even at 2-2. For the Cougars, for the first time in school history, both the baseball and softball teams winning districts and competing today. Pick-up attempt, back pick over to first base, I should say, by Cal Barrett as that one's outside. Thrown on to first, sliding back in safely as Porter. And the count goes full to Donnie Mipson at 3-2. On the way, and Mipson held up. Appeal down to the umpire in the field. You're going to see held up on the check swing. Was close, but Mipson first and second, nobody out for the junior Roy Swarzinski.
Now batting for the Cougars, third baseman number 12, Roy Swarzinski.
So Swarzinski standing in here. His second year as a varsity team member for the Cougars. He's at third base, pitch on the way, and this one is flared down the first base side beyond the Bulldog dugout, and that one will get out of play, 0-1. Matt Scher here with you of the Cougar Sports Network, bringing you South Lyon East Baseball in the MHSAA Regional Semifinal. First ever meeting between these two schools in the Bulldogs of Chelsea as there's a bunt attempt pulled back, and that one misses by Swarzinski. And a count goes to 1-1. First ever meeting, though, between these two schools. Cougars trying to knot this game up and get their first run across. One attempt is pulled back. Fastball was elevated above the zone, and it's 2-1. And now it will be Cal Barrett to go out and talk with Andrew Armstead. Has a few words on how they want to attack. Swarzinski now in a hole, 2-1. Peering in for the sign from Barrett is Armstead. He comes set. A 2-1 on the one. Fastball at the knees on the inside corner for a strike, and that knots things up. 2 balls, 2 strikes in the count, and on deck here to get there is the man on the bump for the Cougars in Max Denny. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. Fouled back out of play, and he stays alive. Count remains at 2-2. A beautiful day for baseball out at Kurtansky Field in Carleton, Michigan. Pitch on the way. This one is flared in the air to right field. That's going to get down a fair ball. Rounding third and heading for home is Porter. He will score, and we are tied with an RBI double down the right field line for Roy Swarzinski. That puts runners at second and third. Swarzinski with a little flare down the right field line, evaded the right fielder Bush. And it's a 1-1 ball game, but more importantly now Max Denny at the plate. Runners at second and third. First pitch misses for a ball, 1-0. Score at 1-1, and Max Denny at the plate as that one misses 2-0. Should be noted, Max Denny against Ann Arbor Gabriel Richard in 2015. Gabriel Richard won by the score of 1-0 on one unearned run. 2016 beat South Lyon East again by the score of 13-6. He sends a fastball on the outer half for a strike 2-1. And then in 2017, the breakthrough comes in the first round of districts. Down 6-5, an 0-2 count, works it to 2-2. Max Denny, who's never hit a home run in his life, one hops the wall as that one misses, 3-1. A walk-off, 2 RBI double, with his teammates pouring out and meeting him at second base to upset the Ann Arbor Gabriel Richard Fighting Irish. And from that moment on, the Cougars have been red hot in the playoffs as that one is grounded to short over to first base, and that'll keep the runners at bay as they won't move up. And it'll go down as a 6-3 putout if you are scoring with us back home, and there's one down in the inning. The first out finally comes off the bat of Max Denny. That'll bring up Ryan Scamars, who, like his teammate, is also donning.
Next up, left fielder number 3,
Cougar Stubbs at the dish. Scamars will be playing at Madonna University for the Crusaders in the fall. Pitch on the way, he takes it upstairs, 1-0. On deck is Jake Heffernan in the 9-hole, and then if we were to get even further, that would turn over the lineup for Jack Paulo. Pitch on the way on the outer half of the plate for a strike, and it's 1-1 on Ryan Scamars. Scamars also playing football for the Cougars, a wide receiver. As they come, send the 1-1. Up and in, watch your lips. He has to turn and spin out of the box to evade that one. It's 2-1. Scamars standing in, coming set on, set on the way. This one is grounded back up the middle. That double. Heffernan, first pitch on the way to him. Fastball right down the heart of the plate, 0-1. Beautiful day for baseball nonetheless. You're on June 10th. That one's a foul tip into the glove for strike 2, 0-2. Onstead a strike away from getting out of this and keeping this a tied ball game. Runner at third represents the go-ahead run in Donnie Mifsa. On second, it's Swarzinski. Pitch on the way is low and outside. Good block there by the catcher, Cal Barrett, as he is able to keep that ball from going back to the backstop and possibly allowing Mifsa to cross the last 90 feet and make this one a 2-1 ball game. Onstead comes set. 1-2. On the inside corner, strike 3, and not running down. He will get tagged, and he's out. And with that, the sign is retired. They're able to strand him. Onstead is.
In the top of the second.
And it looked like he may have not tagged him with the baseball. And Al Hilton out to question here, so Wayne on.
In the top of the third, South Lyon East picks up a run on one hit. 2 men left on base. Scores now 1-1, heading to bottom 2.
Looks like he may not have the baseball, as that's what Hilton's calling. I didn't believe I saw it.
Custom
But
uniform
it looks
partner
like
of
he
the
never actually put the
MHSAA.
ball in his glove to go tag him.
Manufactured right here in Michigan.
That will stand a score of 1-1 as we head to the home half of the second inning. You're listening to the Cougar Sports Network. You're on for South Lyon East Baseball and the MHSAA District, Regional
Also,
Semifinal.
fans are reminded that the
First pitch on the way from Denny DeLay as this one is flared down the right side. That's back out of play 0-1. Going on the way from Denny, a swing and a miss, and Denny pitching with some kind of conviction out there that he didn't have in that first inning. He's looks more in command on the hill here. With more confidence. Pitch on the way. This one is hit down the right field line, and this one will end up in the seats. Foul. Count stays at 0-2, and I do believe there's also a car parked down there, so if you're parked down there, I'd advise you possibly to move. That one's outside with the fastball, 1-2. Waste pitch there wasn't too much of a waste pitch. It was way outside. 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball, and that one is blocked in the dirt. Wasn't enticing enough for Lay to pull the trigger, and the count fills now at 2-2. Two on the way. This one is grounded. Slow roller to second. Mipson flips it with the glove, and he got him at first base. What a nifty play. One down in the inning, and that will bring out Matthew McDaniels, who's playing second base today for the Bulldogs.
Batting for the Bulldogs, number 21, second baseman Matt McDaniel.
Well, Matthew McDaniels standing in here. One down in the inning, and Denny looking to clean things up after that first inning. Pitch on the way is low and outside, and a nice backhand there by Harrigan to receive that one. It's 1-0. 1-0 on the way as Denny delivers. This is a slow roller to short. Porter has to pick it up. Quick throw over to first, and he got him by a couple of steps. And quick work here. 2 up, 2 down to begin the second frame for Max Denny. That will bring up Jack Bush, the 9-0 hitter in right field.
Now batting right fielder, number 5, Jack Bush.
Bush stands in. Little wiggle in the bat. First pitch on the way from the left-hander. A southpaw delivers, and it's outside for a ball 1-0. And again, going to the backhand to receive that one is the catcher, Hayden Harrigan. It was wind-up. Here's the 1-0. This one is fouled back out of play, and the count goes to 1-1 on Jack Bush. On deck for to get there is the top of the order and Hunter Neff. And he peers in for the sign. Here's the 1-1. Just off the outside. Harrigan trying to bring it back, but not convincing enough to the home plate umpire. It's 2-1. 2-1 on the way. This one is outside and low again with the backhand Harrigan, and it's 3-1. And Denny, you do not want to lose him. You do not want to lose Jack Bush if you're Max Denny. With 2 up, 2 down to begin this inning. Pitch on the way is a strike, and Bush thought he had himself a free jog of 90 feet, but he's called back, and the count fills at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and this one is fouled back on a play. Count stays at 3-2, and a battle ensuing here between Bush and Denny. And he tills the rubber, peers in for the sign. The 3-2 on the way. This one is lined back up the middle for a base hit, and a 2-out single keeps the Bulldogs alive here in the home half of inning number 2. That'll bring up Hunter Neff.
Batting for the Bulldogs, center fielder number 12, Hunter Neff,
who singled to left field last time. They got the attempt over to first base, nothing doing as Bush is able to get back in, standing up. And he comes in, working from the stretch, fastball way outside, back pick over to first. A swipe by Aloisio came up empty as Bush was standing up on first base, and that pitch missed for a ball. It's 1-0. And he peers in for the sign. He will come set and gives a look over to Bush at first. 1-0 on the way, and Denny fell off the mound there towards the third base side. I don't believe he heard anything on that pitch delivery. But it missed, and it's 2-0. Thomas Steele, the third on deck, if we were to get there, but Denny and the Cougars have other plans. 2-0 on the way. Fastball down the heart of the plate. This one is hit in the air to right. Heffernan giving chase and makes it over the shoulder grab and right. And with that, the side is retired. So no runs on one hit. No errors. One man left on base at the end of two. The score is tied at 1 apiece between the Bulldogs of Chelsea and the Cougars of the east side of South Lyon. It's your home for South Lyon East Baseball on the Cougar Sports Network, bringing you NHSAA regional semifinal action.
In the top of the third, leading off for the Cougars, center fielder number 4, Jack Pallow.
Pallow will stand in. He had a leadoff walk back in the first inning. It's been 2 straight leadoff walks, and he starts off Pallow with the ball. 1-0, and that's something that will drive up your pitch count and also causes some high leverage situations if you're Onstead on the hill. 1-0 on the way from Pallow, and again it's low and outside, having to go out to block that one in the left-hander's batter's box was Cal Barrett, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Pallow. He's going to be a fire sergeant. He will be training for that at Schoolcraft College after his days at East are over, and this one is hit in the air to left field, giving chase at the wall, up to the wall, up for Pallow. And he will cruise into second base with the leadoff double. And an ovation from the Cougar faithful, making the 47-minute drive out to Carleton Airport High School.
Next up, Reese catcher, number 11, Hayden Harrigan.
That brings up Hayden Harrigan now. And an RBI opportunity to send the Cougars up 2-1, standing on second base 180 feet away. Onstead's first pitch on the way to Harrigan. He is on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Well, I guess the double can be maybe a good thing here for Onstead unless he comes around to score in that. It's not a third straight inning with a leadoff walk. This one is pulled down the right field line, but will end up foul. Be a souvenir for a lucky fan in attendance of today's game, and it's quickly 0-2 on the Cougar backstop. Onstead comes set, the 0-2 on the way. Upstairs for a ball, high and outside, and coming out of his crouch was Cal Barrett to receive that one. It's 1-2. Coming set is Onstead as this one's fouled down the left field line, and that one will end up in the Cougar bullpen out of play. We'll have to go retrieve that one. Count stays in 1-2, and Harrigan not going quietly. Harrigan, now a 3-year varsity player, making his debut against Orchard Lake St. Mary's in 2015. And the ups and downs, made a nice backhanded play deep in the hole on one of the speedsters for the Eagles, but ended up getting picked off in that game as well as that one's outside. And it's 2-2 on Harrigan as he methodically works this at bat into a battle. Instead comes set, the 2-2 to Harrigan. This one is through the left side for a base hit. Paulo gets held up at third. It's runners on the corners with nobody out for Anthony Aloisio. The Italian Stallion will look for an RBI here for the Cougars. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Aloisio looking to get himself an RBI and give the Cougars a 2-1 advantage over the Bulldogs here in the top of the third inning.
Anthony Aloisio.
Aloisio standing in. Bit of a staggered stance, about 6 inches of my estimates. That one's upstairs with the breaking ball. Didn't bend enough as it's 1-0. Aloisio's father, Cheech Aloisio, and mother, Amy, in attendance today. That one's upstairs and running the count out at 2-0.
You're up.
You're listening to Cougar Sports Network, bringing you MHSA regional semifinal action as Onstead comes set, the 2-0. This one is grounded slowly to short, flipping to second for one, over to first, and a double play, but a run does score, and the Cougars take a 2-1 lead. So grounding into the tailor-made 6-4-3 double play. Actually, a bit of a tough one as it was a slow roller on the shortstop side, but 2 down now in the inning. As Porter hits one in the air to deep center field, backing up at the wall and making the grab in center field is Nuff, and the side is retired, but not before the Cougars get a run. And we head now to home after the third inning. Cougars up 2-1 in the regional semifinal. This is for South Islands Baseball on the Cougar Sports Network.
2-1.
As we bring you MHSA semifinal.
Get rewarded for your everyday shopping.
Digging in here to start off the home half of the third inning is Thomas Steele as he takes the ball. 1-0 out of the hand of Denny, and here's the 1-0 on the way into his lineup offering, and it's the same result except a backhand by Harrigan, and it's 2-0. 2-1 Cougars lead as we head to the home half of inning number 3. Cougars getting that second run on the double play, and the pitch on the way from Denny is outside, and now 3-0 to start off Thomas Steele the third. It was wind up the 3-0. Fastball on the outer half of the plate for a strike, 3-1. Steele taking on the way. And he should get a good pitch to hit here. Denny got to be smart with where he wants to place this one. 3-1 on the one. Fastball is hit in the air to right center field. Getting chase is Harrigan off the base of the wall. Rounding second and cruising into second. He'll stay there with a leadoff double and a throw it, missing the cutoff man and going over to retrieve it is Swarzinski. Covering the bag at third was Denny, and it's a leadoff double off the right center field wall. That'll bring up Cal Barrett. The RBI opportunity here. That's the fourth hit of the game for Chelsea.
Number 7, Cal Barrett.
Denny peers into the sign. This softball team for South Lyon East is also winning their district. First time that they've shared a year in winning it. Second one in school history for the Cougars softball team as this one's flared down the right side, but will one hop the wall along the right field line. That's foul ball, and it's 0-1. The softball team will be taking on Milan at 12:30. Just across the complex here. Next game after this one, it's Trenton taking on Carleton Airport, and Denny stepping off and getting fooled out there at second base was Thomas Steele the third. He almost got caught if Mifson would have been on the bag at second, and Denny would have thrown. Pitch on the way from Denny is grounded foul down the third base line. That'll roll all the way down the left field line as well. And the count goes to 0-2 on Barrett. Picture perfect day for baseball, June, and it actually feels like June, believe me. State of Michigan, it'll be up and down one day after another. Denny comes set, the 0-2 on the way. Outside with the fastball. Didn't want him to get a good pitch to hit, but wasn't enticing enough as that was way outside. Wasn't close enough to get him to swing either. 1-2 on Barrett. As Denny peers into the sign from his fellow junior Hayden Harrigan. And here's the 1-2, and that one is lifted out of play down the right side. Count stays at 1-2 in a battle. Chelsea hitters really working the count of Max Denny. Here in the third inning, it's 2-1. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Cougars, 1 run on 4 hits currently for the Bulldogs. With Barrett at the dish, as Denny comes set, here's the 1-2. Breaking ball is fouled back to the screen. A nice bender at that, as Tiger broadcaster Jim Price would say, the Yellowhammer. Count still at 1-2. Pitch on the way for Max Denny. This one is hit in the air. Left center field. This one's up against the wall. Run will score. We have a tied ball game with an RBI double off the left center field wall. Trading places, you can call it that, is Barrett stands on second base in a tied ball game.
Now batting first baseman, number 2, Alex Vasquez.
Alexander Vasquez at first base standing in. No outs with the go-ahead run on second base for the Bulldogs. 2-2 ball game. And Vasquez reached out fielder's choice and advanced to second, or advanced to third on the double by Onstead, but then was stranded on the ground out by Grant Barrett. The first pitch misses for a ball 1-0. Denny peering in for the sign. From Harrigan, he comes set, checks the runner at second. And Barrett, pitch on the way. This one's grounded through the left side for a base hit. And they're going to hold him at third. Runners on the corners, nobody out. And a pressure situation here for Max Denny. Another high leverage inning. That brings up Andrew Onstead, trying to help out his cause here and try to give his team the lead.
18, Drew Onstead.
And help out his run support as well. As he digs into the plate, he's pitched 2 runs on 3 hits in 3 innings. It's been a offensive game so far as it started out, not as such, but a hit starting to pile up for both teams. That's on the outside corner, and caught sleeping, but he's just in time safe. And Aloisio got to make the play down there. Had him sleeping at first base in Vasquez. 0-1 the count. As Denny comes set, the 0-1. Outside, having to go with the backhand is Harrigan, and it's 1-1. 2-2 ball game. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Grant Barrett on deck, the third baseman with the pitcher at the plate. 1-1 from Denny. Instead of pick up attempt over to first base and sliding back in ahead of the throw is Vasquez. Denny comes set. 1-1. Fouled out of play, and the count goes to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Denny comes set. The 1-2 on the 1. Breaking ball just misses off the outside. Denny and the Cougar faithful wanted that one, but nonetheless, it goes to 2-2. We'll say this, it was close. 2-2 instead again. A pickoff attempt over to first base. Nothing doing as he slides back in safely. That's and Ronstead at the dish. Time called by Onstead. She didn't feel comfortable enough to face a 2-2 there as he'll take a breather and step back in after taking a couple of hacks outside the box. Picture perfect day for baseball. Been all morning. Looks like the wind now blowing in from center field. That one is fouled back to the screen, and the count goes still at 2-2. A lot of pitches for Max Denny here. Denny peers in for the sign from Harrigan. Pitch on the way. This one is hit in the air to center. Powell makes the grab. Double clutches the throw to the plate, not in time. And a sacrifice fly RBI, or the sacrifice line on the line out to center. 3-2, Bulldogs reclaim the lead. And staying at first base is Vasquez.
Third baseman number 8, Grant Barrett.
First pitch on the way to Barrett is in there for a strike, 0-1. Pitch on the way, breaking ball. They're going to say he went around on the check swing. And the wild pitch allows him to move up to second base in Vasquez. 0-2, the count, one down, run around second base. 3-2 Chelsea leads. Max Denny on the hill for the Cougars. Sun's starting to cook out here at the ballpark. 0-2 on the way from Max Denny. Breaking ball, it stayed inside. Broke a little late, but not enough. Is it missing inside and just shifted the feet of Barrett as he had to back out of there, and the count moves to 1-2. And he peers in, he comes set. The 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, pulling the string on the breaking ball. Harrigan wanted to throw down to second, but the shortstop, Bobby Porter, wasn't over at second base as he thought the runner on second, Vasquez, may have had a sizable lead over there, but he's sent down by way of the K, 2 down.
Shortstop.
First strikeout for Max Denny in the ballgame. That'll bring up the shortstop, Hunter Lay, who grounded out to second back in the second inning. This one is hammered in the air to left center field. Rounding third and heading for home is Vasquez, and it's 4-2 Bulldogs. Three runs have come home for the Bulldogs this inning. And an RBI single into left 21,
Matt McDaniel.
So Matthew McDaniels will stand in. First pitch on the way, misses off the outside, 1-0. Cougars trail 4-2, 4 runs on 7 hits given up by the left-hander, Max Denny. Runner on first here, 2 outs, trying to just limit it to 3 runs here. On the inside, thrown on to second, and in plenty of time, Harrigan with the sniper from behind the disc sends it down to second base. And with that,
3 hits.
Side is retired.
Chelsea on top.
Not before 3 runs come home for the Bulldogs. 4-2 at the end of 3. We ended the top of 4. Cougars looking to get something going here. When we come back on the Cougar Sports Network Girl for South Lyon East Baseball and the MHSAA Regional Semifinal. Top of the 4th inning, 4-2. The Bulldogs lead. The Cougars as that one's outside. For a ball to Donnie Mifsud on the hand of Anstead.
Second baseman, number 14, Donnie Mifsud.
Mifsud had a walk and was stranded at third base. This is a little looper into left field. That's gonna making the grab in center field, or in left field, was the left fielder. He ended up in center field trying to make that grab. And a dive by the center fielder. They almost crossed paths there, but there's one down in the inning. That brings up Roy Swarzynski with one down.
Next up for the Cougars, third baseman, number 12, Roy Swarzynski.
Swarzynski standing in from the left side. First pitch on the way from Amstead in the windup. This one is hammered down the third base line, but foul. 0-1 on Swarzynski, who had a RBI double into right field back in the second inning. Pitch on the way on the inside corner and quickly 0-2 on Swarzynski. And I have to battle here to work his way on base and trying to get a one-out rally started here for the Cougars. Pitch on the way, it's fouled back, inside fastball. And Swarzynski was able to fight it off back to the screen. And the count still stays at no balls and 2 strikes. Johnson will line up the 0-2 again. Swing and a miss. Hold the string as he was out ahead of the breaking ball. And there's 2 down in the inning. 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring a Max Denny now to try to get something going with 2 outs.
Next up for the Cougars, pitcher number 2, Max Denny.
Pitch on the way from Onstead on the way to Denny. Fastball high and outside 1-0. We were to get there. The left fielder Ryan Scavars is on deck, and he rounded out the pitcher last time. This one is flared in the air, left center field. Camping under this one, the center fielder Nuffy makes the grab. And a 1-2-3 inning. The first natural 1-2-3 inning.
In the top of the fourth.
For Onstead, and that the sign retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Home half of the fourth inning coming up. 4-2, the Bulldogs lead the Cougars here on the Cougars Sports Network for South Line East Baseball and the regional semifinal of the NHSA. Home half of the fourth inning as Denny goes back to work.
In the bottom of the fourth, leading off for the Bulldogs, second baseman number 21, Matt McDaniel.
So 8-9-1 for the Chelsea Bulldogs. Denny peers in for the sign. Will work from the windup. First pitch on the way to McDaniels. Just one is in the left field for a base hit. First pitch swinging, and it pays off for McDaniels, who deposits one in the left field. Leadoff single and the 8th hit of the ballgame. 4 runs on 8 hits against Max Denny. And Chelsea picking right back where they left off in that 3-run third inning.
Now batting right fielder number 5.
A couple more if they can get to Max Denny, but Denny and the Cougars do have other plans. His time is called, and Ryan Hilton, the head coach, now making his way out from the dugout to have the conference call on the mound with the entire Cougar infield, and the man standing 60 feet 6 inches away from the action at the plate, Max Denny.
The game balls for the MHSAA baseball tournament are being provided by Rawlings Sporting Goods. The HSAA thanks Rawlings for its contribution to interscholastic athletics.
Let us discuss a couple things, and Hilton will head off, and the infield disperses to their respective positions, and the 9-hitter, Jack Bush, will stand in, who is 1 for 1 with a single into center last time after working a 3-2 count and then had an additional foul ball on it.
Once again, now batting right fielder, number 5, Jack Bush.
Bush stands in. First pitch on the way in the dirt, thrown out to second, and a bit of an awkward play there as coming to the shortstop side of the bag was Mifsa. The throw was on target on the bag, but Mifsa had to retreat back to second base to try to apply the tag, but after that it was too late. A stolen base credited to McDaniels, and that pitch missed for a ball, 1-0 to Jack Bush. A runner in scoring position, nobody out here, as Denny comes set, and the 1-0 on the way. Right down the heart of the plate for a strike, 1-1 on Bush. Four to 2 the score, runner on second. No outs and a 1-1 count to the 9-hitter at the plate in Jack Bush. As Denny gets the sign, he comes set, checks the runner at second. A 1-1 on the way. One attempt is fouled back to the screen. Not able to get the bunt down is Bush, and he's in a hole now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck is Hunter Neff, who is 1 for 2 in this contest. Led off the home half of the first inning with a single, and then flied out for the last out in the second inning to right field. Stranding just 1 man on base, the man at the plate right now in Jack Bush. 1-2 on the way from Max Denny. In the dirt, blocked by Harrigan, who takes off the helmet. Stares down the runner at second in McDaniels. Meanwhile, the count fills at 2-2 now. Denny checks the runner at second, then peers in to Harrigan for the side. Denny comes set, gives a look to second, pitch on the way, low for a ball, and the count full at 3-2. Denny going to have to dig deep here. 3-2, no outs, runner on second. Here's into the sign from Harrigan. He comes set, checks the runner on second. The 3-2 on the way from the junior southpaw. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Throw down to first base. Completes the strikeout. 1 down in the inning. Second strikeout of the ball game for Max Denny. That brings up Hunter Neff, 1 down with a man in scoring position on second.
Now batting center fielder number 12, Hunter
Daniels. So Hunter Neff standing in. 1 for 2. 4 runs on 8 hits have been registered off of Max Denny as he comes set. And here's the first pitch on the way to Neff. This one is grounded foul down the third base line. 0-1. If we were to get there, Thomas Steele the third, the man sitting on deck. Neff stands in as Denny comes set with the sign. The 0-1. Breaking ball trying to backdoor him on the outside, and it didn't break enough to catch that outside corner. It's 1-1. As Denny gets the sign, he comes set. He'll check the runner at second. In McDaniels again. Not once, but twice. Then the pitch. High fastball. Jammed him as he fouls it back into the screen. Now enough to climb the ladder, and that puts the leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs, who's currently 1 for 2 on the day, in a 1-2 hole. Neff stands back in as Denny gets the sign from the junior catcher Harrigan. Denny comes set, checks the runner once, pitch on the way, breaking ball, swing and a miss. And a tag by Harrigan, and there are 2 outs in the inning. A big 2 strikeouts there by Denny.
Now batting left fielder number 11, Thomas Steele.
And he's got 3 Ks now in the afternoon, trying to give his team a chance down by 2 when we head to the 5th inning. As Denny has 1 more man to get, it's Thomas Steele III. She will call time. Thought Denny and Harrigan were taking too long to try to come to a consensus on a first pitch selection. Take his time, steps back in, and Denny and Harrigan will go to work on Thomas Steele III. Denny comes set, checks the runner at second with a long look. First pitch on the way, and that breaking ball on the inner half that breaks toward the back leg, kind of like a Randy Johnson-like slider, except a tad bit slower, 0-1. Big unit did feature some nasty stuff back in his day. Not saying Max Denny is no big unit, but height differential may say otherwise. 0-1 on the way from Denny. This one squirts away from the catcher, and the pass ball allows McDaniels to move up to third base, 90 feet away. 1-1, and now this is not even crucial. It's more crucial with the runner on third. Different look here. You've got to be able to bury the breaking ball with a good stop by Harrigan if you want to go back to that selection with a runner on third. You don't want that run to score. Then he comes set, 1-1. Breaking ball, and again it is fouled away off of the body of Thomas Steele III, and he's now in a hole at 1-2. And he is 1 for 1. He was hit by the pitch, the second batter of the game in the first, and then was able to deliver a double off the right center field wall, which started off that 3-run inning back in the third inning. Then he's 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball, squirts away from Harrigan, but nothing doing as Denny's able to come home and cover home plate. Breaking ball missed, and it runs the count even at 2-2. A methodical approach here to the hitter, Thomas Steele III, trying to work his way around the lead-on single. McDaniels, who stands 90 feet away at third base. Denny comes in after getting the sign, the 2-2. Swing and a miss, got him on the breaking ball, and Denny strikes out the side in a big comeback inning for the junior southpaw.
No runs on 1 hit, 1 man left on base.
So no runs come across the score.
South Lyon East 2.
Of 4. The score, 4-2. Chelsea leads it. This is your home for South Lyon East baseball on the Cougar Sports Network, bringing you MHSAA regional semifinal action. First pitch on the way to Ryan Skalarson. He deposits one into right center. Gets by the center fielder. Skalarson will try to take second. And smart base running by the future Madonna Crusader as he cruises into second base. A single and an error gets him a ball.
Next up, right fielder number 7, Jake Heffernan.
First pitch on the way to Heffernan, misses for a ball, 1-0. The error by the right fielder allowed Skalarson to get in here in scoring position. And here's a bunt now by Heffernan. A beauty at that, gets the runner over. Sacrifice bunt, beautifully drawn up, and a good call there by head coach Ryan Hilton to get the runner over to third. More of a morale booster announced time for Jack Hollow, who, if you remember last time, was able to send a double off the left field wall, connecting with one trying to make a bid for his first career home run. Hollow stands in, and the first pitch misses for a ball, 1-0. Hollow currently 1 for 1 with a walk, as well as that one's on the inside corner, 1-1 the count. And going to run across, make this a one-run ball game. Pitch on the way. This one is low and inside to Hollow, and it's 2-1. Aiden Harrigan on deck. Base hit. That's what Powell's looking for to get himself an RBI. This one is grounded foul down the third base line, and the count now goes to 2-2. Future Fire Sergeant. Be training for that, as we said, in Schoolcraft College. Pitch on the way, a little tapper, third base side, maybe tough throw over to first, and a nice play there by the third baseman, Grant Barrett, and he's able to keep the runner at third base at bay in Scalars. 2 down in the inning, and that leaves it up to Aiden Harrigan, trying to at least get one run back and make this a 4-3 ball game.
Batting for the Cougars. Catcher number 11, Aiden Harrigan.
Harrigan in this contest is 1 for 2 with a single, and then reaching on a fielder's choice as that one misses for a ball, 1-0. On the way to Harrigan is outside for a ball, 2-0. Anthony Aloisio, the Italian stallion, on deck if we were to get there. Pitch on the way, that one's outside. 3-0. Imagine Harrigan would be taking all the way here, especially with 2 outs and a runner on third. Pitch on the way to Harrigan. He takes it on the outer half for a strike, 3-1. Coming set out instead, the 3-1. This one is flared down the left field line. Foul just beyond the Cougar bullpen, and it fills the count at 3-2. Three-2, and stepping out is Harrigan as Ethan Onstead and Cal Barrett were taking too long to come to a pitch consensus. 3-2 the count on Harrigan. Big pitch upcoming here. He comes set, the 3-2. This one is tapped in front of the mound. Pitcher over to first, and they get out of the inning. Constant over to Vasquez, and again stranding a
One run for the Cougars. One hit for the Cougars. No run.
No runs coming across the score. On one hit, one error made by the Bulldogs. And 1 man left on base. We head to the home half of inning number 5. 4-2 Chelsea leads on the Cougars Sports Network. Your home for South Lyon East Baseball and the MHSA Regional Semifinal.
In the bottom of the 5th, leading off for the Chelsea Bulldogs, catcher number 7, Cal Barrett.
Cal Barrett will stand in. He currently is 1 for 2 in the ball game with a double. That drove in Thomas Steele, the third, back in the 3rd, and then he also reached out fielder's choice back in that 1st inning. First pitch on the way from Max Denny. This one is lined right at the 3rd baseman for Zimski, and he makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out. That'll bring up Alexander Vasquez, who is 1 for 2 in this contest. A base hit in the left field. Came around to score the 3rd of 3 runs back in that 3-run 3rd inning. It's a pitch, breaking ball. He is in the dirt, blocked by Harrigan, and it's 1-0. A 4-2 tight contest here between South Lyon East and Chelsea. And 4-2 Chelsea at the advantage here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch on the way is grounded foul down the 3rd baseline, and the count moves to 1-1. And Vasquez at 1 for 2 on the day. 1-1, breaking ball, swung on and missed, and kind of looks like the Tanana Banana that Frank Tanana used to feature after he had the arm injury in Texas, moved over to Detroit and was able to resurrect his career over 2,700 strikeouts. Meanwhile, it's 1-2. In the dirt, inside with the pitch is Denny, and it moves the count to 2-2. Denny into the 1-up, 2-2 on the way. Just below the knees, trying to place it on the inside to freeze them. He fills the count at 3-2. Denny had all the intentions to try to get Vasquez to get caught like a deer in the headlights on that one, but it just missed. 3-2 on the way. Breaking ball. Just misses. My goodness. Breaking ball. Harrigan asking where that one was, but it goes as a 1-out walk. We've been seeing that pitch called and not called there. It hurts the Cougars and Denny, but they have a rebound.
Number 19, Drew Ensign.
1-out walk. And I believe a pinch runner now on first base. We'll get you his number as soon as we can see it right now. Shielded by the first base coach. Pinch runner, I believe, is Aaron McDaniels. McDaniels now on first base. This one is hit in the air to right field, back of the wall, making the grab. And getting caught off of first base. That's a double play. My goodness, a base running gap there by McDaniels. And a double play. What a momentum booster possibly for the Cougars as we head to the top of the sixth inning. My goodness. Base running gap, and nonetheless, Cougars will take it. At the end of 5, the score, 4-2, Chelsea leads it. Cougars looking to get hot against Onstead back on the hill. We come back on the Cougars Sports Network, your home for South Line East Baseball and the MHSAA Regional Semifinal.
First baseman, number 16, Anthony Aloisio.
Aloisio standing in. He's grounded into 2 double plays today, looking to get something going for the Cougars. First pitch on the way from Onstead. Fastball up and in. Watch your lips. Cue the violins. A little chin music as he has to move out of the way. 1-0. On the way from Onstead. This is a little chopper to second base. Aloisio down to the line, but not going to be in time as he's out by a couple of steps. And he's 0 for 3 today. 1 down, and that brings up Bobby Porter the fourth.
Now batting for the Cougars.
We'll count him now,
13,
but
Bobby
Chelsea
Porter.
just 5 defensive outs away from ending the Cougars season.
Just hit some whipples or something if you want.
First pitch on the way from Porter. That is in there for a strike. Cougars need some base runners now, and as Ernie Harley used to say, we'll put it in Cougars terms, Cougars need instant runs here in the late innings. So that one's in there for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2. Upstairs, ducking down is Porter, and that'll go as a ball. Fastball was upstairs, and it's 1-2. Onstead peers in for the sign. The 1-2 on the way. This one is looped into left field for a base and a 1-out single for Bobby Porter. The 5th hit of the day for the Cougars. And that will bring up Donnie Mipsa, who was 0 for 1 on a walk. Back in the second, flying out to left field, back in the fourth.
Number 14, Donnie Mipsa.
Mipsa will stand in. First pitch on the way. Mipsa flies one in the air to left field. Left fielder ranging over, makes the grab, and there's 2 down in the inning. Two down, runner on first. And as with the last at bat, the tying run is at the plate. It's Royce Warzinski. And Roy get up a big hit back in the second inning.
Swartzinski.
And a RBI double that brought home the first Cougar run. First pitch on the way, up and in. Swartzinski takes it, and it's 1-0. Cougars have failed to score the last two innings. Managed just 1 run in the second and 1 run in the third. 1 run in the first for Chelsea and 3 runs in the third, as that's a ball in the dirt and a throw down to first base on the back pick. Not in time, however. And the count goes to 2-0. Is up and in, and Swartzinski takes it, and Onstead, not the greatest body language there, as he really wanted that one, and it apparent to everybody in the ballpark. 3-0. 3-0 catches the outside corner right at the letters for a strike. 3-1 on Swartzinski. Should get a good pitch here and needs to take advantage of it. 3-1 on the way. This one is grounded to second, over to first base, and the side is retired. And the Cougars are just 3 outs away from getting eliminated by the Chelsea Bulldogs. We head to the home half of the 6th inning. The score 4-2 Chelsea over the Cougars on the Southline East Sports Network. This is your home
Chelsea 4.
Southline East Baseball and the MHSAA Regional Semifinal. Back here in the home half of the 6th inning, first pitch on the way to Grant Barron, and he cuts on and misses that pitch at the knees. 0-1. Denny towing the rubber. Here is the 0-1 on the way to Barron. On the outside corner for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2. Peering in for the sign. Here is the 0-2 on the way to Barrett. Fouled back out of play, and Barrett stays alive. Count remains at 0 balls, 2 strikes. Wow. Trenton Trojans, and that one is lifted into left field for a base hit, a leadoff single for Barrett. The Trenton Trojans and the Airport Jets about to take on each other after the conclusion of this one. That one was scheduled for a start time of noon to 12:30-ish, I believe. There is somebody heating down in that bullpen.
Number 13, Kyle Knight.
It is Alexander Vasquez. He's playing first base, and looks like he's heating up now for the 7th inning. As Hunter Lay will dig in here.
And now batting for the Bulldogs, shortstop number 3, Hunter Lay.
So there is a new pinch runner over at first base. It's Kyle Knight. That one misses, and a throw down to first base, and sliding back in safely is Knight on the back pick. 1 on the count. Going around for a bunt attempt and pulling back his way. Squirts out in front, and Harrigan will go out to pick it up and throw it out to the mound without any further damage. 2-0. One attempt is pulled back, and it's now 3-0. And looks like Harrigan is a bit shaken up on the left side. Grabbing his left shoulder, he'll take some time, and the home plate umpire recognizes that, and he'll go down and promptly brush off the plate. And that's Harrigan, how he's doing. And some activity down in the Cougar bullpen. It's James Michael heating up, who stepped in after Brian Walker had a bit of a shaky start against Ann Arbor Gabriel Richard. They were down 6-0 in that game and battled back to win 7-6. That one's in there for a strike at the letters. 3-1. Big questionable, and the Chelsea fans voicing their opinions down the first base line to the home plate umpire. But to no avail, the count is at 3-1. Scoring around to bunt the 3-1. And bunted foul. It will move the count out full 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count on Hunter Lang. Runner on first is Kyle Knight. Pitch on the way. Just misses off the outside. Denny wanted it. And he'll go behind the mound and try to shake it off from his head. Knight moves up to second. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. And the hitter is Matthew McDaniel.
Second baseman number 21, Matt McDaniel.
McDaniels will stand in for the Bulldogs here. Runners on first and second, but not before Hilton will come out. And it looks like James Michael will be entering for Max Denny. His day will be over, and they'll bring in Michael, a sophomore. Try to come in. He's going to check in with a 1.62 ERA when we return on the Cougars Sports Network, your home for South Line East Baseball. Daniels checks in, and James Michael will hop off the mound. The sophomore, one of two sophomores on this team, or at least have been on the entire season. So a couple more on that dugout that haven't been featured here in the state playoffs, as that's a bunt attempt. Michael sprawls up the mound like a cat over to first base and gets him in time. Sacrifice bunt works. One down to the inning, but that puts runners now on second and third.
Next up for the Bulldogs, right fielder number 5, Jack Bush.
Jack Bush checks in. He's 1 for 2. Struck out last time and then thrown out to first base to complete the strikeout, the K2-3 variety. And then back in the second inning, a single to center, but the only hit in that inning, he was stranded on first base. On the outer half of the plate to Bush, it's 0-1. James Michael has had his fair share of good outings this year, has tallied over 30 innings on the mound, has been a starter now for the past 2 games he's pitched in. It's mainly used out of the bullpen. This one is flied in the air, short, right field, and Paulo comes on to make the grab, and a strong throw in to Aloisio keeps the runner at third base in Knight at bay. 2 down, and Hunter Neff will stand
Center
in.
fielder number 12, Hunter Neff.
So first pitch is cut out and missed, 0-1. Alexander Vasquez heating up in the bullpen, getting ready for the 7th as that one's in there for a strike on the outer half, 0-2. James Michael looking for a shutdown inning here and to get the Cougars out of it, but he needs one more strike to do so. Michael peers in for the sign. He comes set. The 0-2 on the way.
Ooh.
Just off of the inside. A little too close for comfort for the Bulldog fans of Chelsea High School. As it's 1-2 and he stays alive for another pitch. Questionable call there as Michael comes set. The 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Got him on a fastball elevated. Now the stage is set. Cougars down by 2. They'll look to do something. And not do it. Since they could hit, that's walk-off a win. As they did so, Gabriel Richard, they've been here before.
4-2.
We'll be back. Top of the 7th inning coming up 4-2. And 2 up for the Cougars. It will be
Michigan
79
in
James Michael, Ryan Scavars, and Jake Heffernan. When you return, Cougar Sports Network, your home for South Line East Baseball and the LHSA Regional Semifinal. So it's James Michael to lead it off. First pitch is cut out and missed, 0-1.
Leading off for the Cougars in the top of the 7th, number 5, James Michael.
So that one misses for a ball, and the count moves to 1-1. James Michael trying to work the count here in his favor, trying to get on and start something off here. That one's on the outer half. It's 1-2 on the sophomore. Cougars down our last 3 outs. But, oh, baby, have we seen some wild things this year. 1-2 on the way. Outside, running the count now to 2-2. I'm standing in the lineup. The 2-2 on the way to Michael. This one is flared in the air to right field. Camping under this one and making the grab is Bush. There's one down in the inning. 2 outs away. That'll bring up Ryan Scavars.
Next up for the Cougars, left fielder number 3, Ryan Scavars.
Scavars stands in here, 1 down in the inning. First pitch on the way. On the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 misses for a ball, 1 strike. That one misses as well, pushes the count out of 2-1 on Ryan Scavars. 2-1 on the way. He is low for a ball, 3-1 to Scavars. Jake Heffernan looming on deck. 3-1 on the way from Onstead. This one is flared down the right field line. That'll find the seats. Fills the count at 3-2. A 3-2 on the way from Onstead. He is low for a ball. All 4. And the tying run will come up to the plate of pinch hitter and Logan O'Rourke. Logan O'Rourke will stand in. His brother Hunter was a member of the 2013 first ever district championship in South Miami's history, in which the first game of regionals, they upset Divine Child 6-5. 1 down in the inning. First pitch on the way is a strike. 0-1. On deck is Paulo. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. 0-2. Count on Logan O'Rourke. Trying to get on base here as that one's upstairs for a ball, 1-2. Cougars trying to see if they have 1 more ounce of fight in them. This one's fouled away and O'Rourke just gets a piece of it. Stays alive. Count remains 1-2. Runner on first is Scavars. O'Rourke would represent the tying run. Upstairs and almost bites the elbow of O'Rourke, and the count now evens up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down in the inning. Runner on first. Onstead's delivery. Fouled away, and again O'Rourke stays alive. And a battle ensuing here between the junior O'Rourke and Onstead on the bump 60 feet 6 inches away. Comes set. Here is a 2-2 on the way. This one is pulled foul down the third base line, and O'Rourke again stays alive. Two and 2 on Logan O'Rourke. Coming set Onstead, again the 2-2. Flared out of play down the right side, and again O'Rourke stays alive. And the next pitch will be the 9th of this encounter between O'Rourke and Onstead. O'Rourke trying to find a way on base to extend this inning once more. This one is hit through the left side for a base hit, and O'Rourke is aboard. 2 on, 1 out for Jack Powell. A single through the left side, and now the coaching staff of Chelsea, the pitching coach, coming out, and I believe they'll have a change upcoming. This is your home for South Lyon East Baseball on the Cougar Sports Network. 4-2. Tying run at first base. Go-ahead run upcoming at the plate. This is your home for South Lyon East Baseball. Don't go away on the Cougar Sports Network, the LHSAA Regional Semifinal.
And at the plate for the Cougars, center fielder number 4, Jack Mallow.
The future fire sergeant checks in against Alexander Vasquez. Will he come when the ring bells? Outside, 1-0. Hollow deposited one off of the beautiful green wall in left field as that one's on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Right around that 340 sign, actually in left center. 1-1 on Jack Paulo. Vasquez comes set, pitch on the way. This one is a grounder to second, flip over to one, over to first, and got him a double play, and Chelsea is moving on to the regional final.
Double play ends the game. South Lyon leads 1 man on base.
4-2 the final. The season comes to a close as the Cougars are unable to come back after they fall to the Chelsea Bulldogs.
High School. I've enjoyed having you here at today's game. We look forward to having you as a guest at future events.
For all of you that have listened to
these
past couple of weeks after we had started broadcasting, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who has helped out with the broadcast. The Denny's for helping us get the Wi-Fi hotspot to come out to all home and away games. During this last part of the season, I'd like to thank the hospitality of Carleton Airport High School for allowing us to come in and bring you South Lyon East Cougar baseball. I'd like to thank the boosters for allowing us to come in, the NHSAA as well. And you, the fans, you guys are the ones that make it possible for us to bring you Cougar baseball on the air. The end of 2017 has come to a close. The Cougars, district champions, but we'll just leave it at that. We'll see you for the 2018 season. And thank you for listening in. And as always, God bless.